The knock on the door was loud, too loud for a house that used to echo with laughter. Grandpa Ibrahim tightened his grip on the wooden arm of his rocking chair. It wasn't his house anymore, not really, but he still felt every heartbeat of its walls. The officer standing at the door held a paper in his hand, and Grandpa knew this moment would come. What he didn't know was that it would hurt this much. Just a year ago, Grandpa Ibrahim was the pillar of the house, paying every bill, every repair, every emergency expense. He had sold half his land so his son, Rafik, could renovate the house. "It's your home too, Abba," Rafik had said, hugging him. But things change, sometimes slowly, sometimes like a storm. It began when Rafik married Asma. She was young, ambitious, and painfully straightforward. At first, she respected Grandpa, served him tea, listened to his stories. But as months passed, her smile became tight, her tone sharper, her patience thinner. "You don't understand the new generation," she would say. "You are old-fashioned. You sit all day doing nothing but using electricity." Rafik, always eager to keep peace, tried to stay neutral, but neutrality is just silence wearing a suit. One cold November evening, Grandpa overheard a conversation he wasn't meant to hear. "Why is he still living with us, Rafik?" Asma hissed. "He pays nothing now, he's becoming a burden." "But he's my father." "Then build him an old-age room somewhere else. I want privacy. This is our house." "Our house?" The words stabbed deeper than any knife. Grandpa quietly walked back to his room, pretending he hadn't heard. But that night, he didn't sleep. He stared at the ceiling where he had once hung fairy lights for little Rafik's birthday. When dawn arrived, Rafik came to his room, eyes unsure, guilt hiding behind them. "Abba, we think maybe you should stay with Uncle for a while, just until things settle." "Beta," Grandpa whispered, "I paid for this house." Rafik looked away. "Asma isn't comfortable, you know how things are." That same evening, after 40 years of raising a son, building a home, paying every bill, sacrificing every comfort, Grandpa was handed a suitcase. A suitcase. As if 40 years fit inside it. For 3 months, Grandpa lived in his brother's small, crowded house. They were kind, but kindness cannot replace a home. Some nights he cried silently, careful not to wake anyone. Other nights he prayed that his son would realize the mistake and call him back. But the calls never came. He wasn't angry. He was heartbroken in the slow, silent way old hearts break. Then came the day when Asma and Rafik decided the house was legally theirs and Grandpa had no claim. They sent him a message. "Don't create issues, Abba. The house is ours now. We need peace." Something inside Grandpa snapped, not out of revenge, but out of dignity. He walked to a lawyer's office the next morning. His hands trembled as he told his story. The lawyer listened quietly, nodding. "You paid the bills, funded the renovation, and contributed financially for years. You have a right." Grandpa didn't want a fight. He just wanted respect. So when the lawyer typed the legal notice and Grandpa signed it, he sighed, not with satisfaction, but with sorrow. Now, weeks later, standing at the door of the house he had built, he watched the officer knock. Rafik opened the door, shocked. "Abba, why?" "It's only a notice, Beta," Grandpa said softly, "not a war." Asma appeared behind Rafik, arms crossed. "You're doing this to trouble us." "No," Grandpa said, his voice calm, steady, older than time. "I'm doing this so my existence is not wiped away." After the officer left, the street remained silent. Neighbors whispered. Rafik stood frozen in the doorway. Asma finally spoke. "You didn't tell me he spent his life savings on this house." Rafik stared at the ground. I didn't think it mattered." "It matters now," she snapped. But guilt had already started its quiet storm inside Rafik. He remembered every memory, his father carrying him during fever, paying his school fees secretly, selling land so he could open a shop, repairing his car without telling him. He remembered love he had taken for granted. That night, Rafik visited Grandpa at his brother's house. Grandpa was sitting with a lantern, polishing his old prayer beads. Abba, I'm ashamed. Grandpa looked up. Sit, Beto. Rafik knelt. Ozma and we acted wrong. I acted wrong. Please come back. Grandpa smiled sadly. You threw me out, Rafik, like an unwanted guest. Tears filled Rafik's eyes. Forgive me, I was weak. We are all weak, Grandpa whispered, but we must be human. Rafik spent the entire night convincing Grandpa. He apologized, cried, begged, and confessed his regrets. At dawn, Grandpa finally placed a shaky hand on his son's head. Let's go home, Beto. When they reached the house, Ozma stood at the gate. Her eyes were red, swollen. I am sorry, Abba, she said, voice trembling. I didn't understand. Grandpa nodded. Understanding comes when life teaches us, and life is a strict teacher. She touched his feet respectfully, something she had never done before. And for the first time, Grandpa saw sincerity in her eyes. The notice was withdrawn. A new agreement was made, written this time, clear and undeniable. Grandpa would always have his room, his respect, and his rights. But more importantly, he had his family back. And some nights, when he sat in his rocking chair, listening to the familiar heartbeat of the house, he whispered to himself, Love makes a home, but dignity keeps it standing.